Whoa, that's a lot of purple. That's so funny. I'm ridiculous, me and my purple. Good morning. Or afternoon, depending on where you're at, because it's 9 a.m. on the Pacific Coast. Which means on the East Coast, it is noon. So good afternoon. I like this. You can see my purple. That's fun. Good morning, good morning. I am Shanna Pizer from Fulfilled Life Coaching and the Commit to You group coaching program. I have challenged myself to go live on Instagram for 30 days, which is absolutely ridiculous and feels really dorky, but I will not back down to a challenge, especially one that I throw down to myself for fear or any of those ridiculous reasons. So today is day 10 of my 30-day Instagram Live challenge to myself to, build confidence, to prove to myself that I can do something for 30 days. We'll see. We'll see what all the benefits are. I don't know. So day 10 of 30, it is Wednesday, August 19th. Happy hump day. And I am going to talk today about how I have lost my weight. That's what I'm going to share. And that's my coaching is primarily weight loss. And my group coaching program is weight loss and learning the simplest way to lose weight and to also shift the way that you think while you're losing weight so that you enjoy the process and commit to a process that you can do for the rest of your life. And it's not restrictive. It's not depriving. There's no deprivation or restriction. Or I guess that's not 100% true. There is some restriction, but it's a positive restriction. It doesn't feel negative. So yeah. In my group coaching program, we meet once a week. So I send out a teaching video once a week with a workbook, and then we meet once a week on Zoom to discuss questions, to have some accountability, and to just touch base, see how things are going, how can I support you, and then there's a private Facebook group where I put all the information, people can post questions, private message me, and I also offer 2 free or included individual coaching calls to work on whatever you're dealing with individually. So that's how the group coaching works. So today I wanted to just kind of share, hey, Lucky Gina, hello, welcome. I just want to share how I have lost my weight, the process that I have followed, and I just want to share that. Because, going live for 30 days, what the heck am I going to talk about? So today it's this. I have struggled with weight my whole life. And I've lost weight, Weight Watchers, keto. I've done the cabbage soup diet and lost 9 pounds in a week and a half or some crazy thing. I've done like all of this stuff over and over and over again. And I have been successful and lost weight for a short period of time, and then, go off the rails and gain it all back and then some. And every time that I've lost weight in the past, I have struggled with as I'm losing weight, I lived in fear of, what if I gain it back? Am I going to be able to keep it off? And that was a constant companion as I lost weight every other time. This time, that has not been an issue. So, last summer, I was at an emotional low and a physical high, as in I weighed the most weight I've ever weighed in my life. And I was like kind of teetering on the verge of, am I just going to give up and accept that I'm going to weigh this amount and that's just who I am? I'm always going to be the biggest person in the room, and just kind of accept that that's my lot in life. And so that was one side of it. And then the other side was, no, I know what I need to do. I have all the knowledge that I need. I know what I need to do. Why can't I just make myself do it? Like, why am I so stuck all the time? I feel out of control all the time. Why? I know better. I'm not stupid. I'm not a dumb person. Like, I know what it takes to lose weight. Why can't I just freaking do it? And every night when I went to bed, after, eating whatever and drinking a bottle of wine, get into bed and lay there and think and pray, like, okay, tomorrow I'm not going to do this. Tomorrow I am going to control what I eat. I am not going to drink the wine. No, this is changing. And then the next night would be the same exact thing. And I got out my journals because I knew I was going to talk about this. And I kind of looked through and had a little some reminders of how things were back in the day. So anyway, that was last summer. I told my husband, I'm either going to figure this out. There's some kind of brain block going on because I have the knowledge. There's a block between having the knowledge in my head and making myself do the things that I know I need to do. So I need to figure that out. And I had planned that I was going to sign up for some crazy restrictive diet where they give you the packaged food and you go in every week and you get on a scale in front of a person and they, judge you for what you did right or wrong during the week. And I was like, I'm just going to have to do that. And that, I think that was my lowest point, admitting that to myself, because I was like, I hate the idea that I can't do it on my own. So before I did that, I listened to the Life Coach School podcast by Brooke Castillo, and I absolutely love her. And she must have mentioned Corinne Crabtree in one of her podcasts early last year, and I went in and subscribed to Corinne's podcast, but I didn't listen to it, but I had been subscribed for quite a while. And I learned in Brooke Castillo's podcast, the Life Coach School podcast, that she talked about doing the 24-hour plan, journaling what you're going to eat ahead of time. So deciding ahead of time These are the things that I'm going to eat. And I have, like, I committed to doing Corinne's method on September 28th. But looking back this is the first journal that I used to start my journey. I looked back and I actually wrote my first plan on May 7th, which was actually my son's birthday. So May 7th, 2019, I wrote my first meal plan, and I just did breakfast and lunch. And at that point, I was doing the Fab Four smoothies that, what's her name? Kelly LeVeque, she wrote the book Body Love. I was doing those, which is actually super great. And I sporadically wrote meal plans back then, and not a lot, just very sporadically. So anyway, in early September 2019, so the summer went by, I listened to the book Change Your Brain, Change Your Body, which was amazing. I read the book, and this was after I had the talk with my husband about, like, there's some block. There is some block. So I'm going to figure this out. And I read the Change Your Brain, Change Your Body book. And coincidentally, I picked up the book Invisible by Ginny Weitrup. And it's a novel, but it was like, just went right along with everything I was dealing with. And it's just funny how I feel like God places those things when it's time. And he totally did. All of these things just came together. So my mind was being prepared. And then at the beginning of September, I was like, okay, I'm just going to try this podcast, this Corinne Crabtree podcast. And the podcast is called Losing 100 Pounds with Corinne. She just kind of changed it. And so I listened to her podcast for the first time early September. And the first one I was listening to, I was driving. It was in the middle of the day. I had to go to a meeting. I was driving from campus to the district office and started listening. Poor connection. That's weird. Okay. Took it off Wi-Fi. So I was going to a meeting, started listening, and I was like, oh my gosh, I think this is the answer. I can't even remember what she was talking about. I don't know what podcast I listened to first, but I was like, this could be just what I need. So I paused it and I called my sister. I'm like, oh my gosh, you have to listen to this, like blah, 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 blah. So from then on, I binged on the podcast. I listened to the podcast in the car, every time I was in the car, while I was in the shower, while I was at home, doing anything, I was listening to the podcast. And I listened and listened and listened. And on September 9th, it looks like, I kind of started playing around with writing the plans. And so as I was listening, I was kind of figuring out, like, what is this? Like, what is the actual, like, meat of this weight loss process? And so basically here it is. Number 1, sleep. Your body needs sleep. Sleep 7 to 9 hours a night. Everybody needs, like, within that, at least 7. Some people can get by on less, but the majority of us need at least 7 hours a night. So sleep, drink water, and in her plan, she says at least 64 ounces. I feel like that's, like, just for people that hardly drink any water. I feel like the goal should be half your body weight in ounces of water, and that's a process. If you only drink 6 ounces of water a day, it's going to be a process to get up to drinking that much water. So it's not just like bam overnight. So sleep, drink water, make a plan for what you're going to eat ahead of time. And then you evaluate that plan every day. And then the fourth thing is, don't eat unless you're physically hungry, and stop eating when your body is satisfied but not quite full. And that's it. Like, for actual weight loss, those are the four things: sleep, water, plan, eat when you're hungry, stop when you're satisfied. So those are the four things that, and it took me a while. It took me a few weeks to kind of figure that all out and determine a plan of action. And I just went back this morning and opened up my journal. And the first day that I wrote a plan, that I was listening to the podcast, I have 2 columns in my journal, and one is pain. And I'm assuming that on the podcast, she talked about this, and like, what pain are you experiencing where you're at now? And I just want to share some of these, and because I want you to know that I was there. So my pains were, I'm always the fattest. The misery of getting dressed every morning. Like, I remember that, going into my closet every morning and having to decide what to wear to work that day was misery. It was miserable. What clothes are going to fit on my body, and what am I going to feel comfortable in, that doesn't draw attention to how big these clothes are, because they have to cover this body. Like, it was miserable having to get dressed every day. Some of my extra larges don't fit anymore. I had the fear of buying the next size up because I was pushing out of my size 18s. Fear of getting on and off my kayak. My husband had bought me a kayak for my birthday that year in March, and it was September, and I had never used it because I was afraid of having to get on and off of it. I went hiking with friends, and I couldn't keep up with them. They had to keep stopping for me, and that was mortifying. I had run a half marathon. I had done a triathlon, and I couldn't keep up with my friends on a hike. I don't feel like exercising. Everything hurts. Cute clothes don't look good on me. And at that point on this day, I couldn't even write, like, what difference will weight loss mean? I didn't even have that in me. So that was on September 9th of last year. And then I wrote some plans, but I was not consistent. And then on September, it actually looks like, so I started consistently writing plans on September 26th. And that was kind of like, I was playing around, and I decided September 28th was the day. That was the day I was putting everything in motion. That's September 28th. So my plan was, I had egg casserole for breakfast, fajita for lunch, which apparently I didn't eat. Dinner, I didn't know because we were going to a concert. We went to LJ's, and I had a wedge salad. And I had a glass of wine because I had a hair appointment that day. And that was the day I started, September 28th. I was 231 pounds. And yep, I just said that on Instagram Live. And that was the day I committed to the 4 basics, and I was willing to try. I was willing to commit to this journey and commit to myself and give it a chance. And since that day, September 28th, 2019, I have planned out my food every day. I have most days drank all the water and gotten the sleep, And there are days that I overeat, there are days that I eat off plan, but I always evaluate it. And I'm down 78 pounds since September 28th. And I have done a lot of journaling along the way and a lot of watching my thoughts, paying attention to how I think about myself, how I think about the actions that I'm taking, and really worked on talking kindly to myself and allowing for mistakes and being willing to learn from the mistakes that I make along the way. Gina, thank you so much. Is there something with a minimum daily act? Yes, thank you for that reminder. Yes. So when I started that September 28th, I wanted to be a person that exercised again, and I had, because of my weight, I struggled with my knees a lot. When I tried to start working out again, my knees just hurt so bad. So I had resigned, like I can't work out anymore because my knees, they keep me from doing it or whatever. So I set minimum baselines. My minimum baselines were I do the 4 basics and I move my body 30 minutes a day. When I first started out moving my body 30 minutes a day, that meant walking on the treadmill at a very slow pace, like so slow that I literally some days didn't wear shoes and didn't even wear a bra. Just being real. And every day since September 28th, I have moved my body at least 30 minutes a day. Some days it's a 30-minute walk with the dog. Some days it's running, and I've built up to being able to run more than the 30 minutes, but that took a lot of time. So just the minimum baseline thing has really helped me. 30 minutes a day is my minimum. If I walk the dog for 30 minutes, I've gotten my 30 minutes in. If I, do yard work for 30 minutes, that's my 30 minutes. Anything above that, above and beyond, is icing on the cake. So yes, thank you for reminding me of that. And I also have accountability partners. I'm a member of 3 different accountability groups in Marco Polo. If you don't have Marco Polo, it's amazing. So I have ladies that I can check in with. If I'm struggling with something, they're there to cheer me on. If we catch each other making excuses, we'll call each other out on it. And because we want the best for each other, which is amazing. And I love that. I love my accountability ladies. So yeah, that's like the basics are sleep, water, plan, and eat to satisfy hunger, not emotions. The 6 week, I would love to talk about that. And I did a little bit earlier too. So my 6-week group coaching program, again, is for weight loss. And it is to teach the basics. I go over the basics. We talk a lot about the mind work, how we think about how we have thought in the past about weight loss and our ability to lose weight, and our limiting beliefs that have kept us stuck, and like moving from that diet mentality of restriction and deprivation into changing the way you do your life to create lasting results and a life that you want to live and you're excited to live. So getting out of that place of being stuck. So the 4 basics, I go in depth about all of those, and really paying attention to your thoughts and working on the reasons that we overeat, that the emotional eating, which I did not believe I was an emotional eater. I just loved food. Oh, hey, guess what? Love, it's an emotion, which it opened my mind to, what? I'm not an what? I am an emotional eater. And then like recognized the other areas that I was numbing my emotions by eating. So we talk about in detail the 4 basics, and then a lot of the thought work around diet mentality and your ability to lose weight. We talk about the fears that you experience when you're wanting to make a change. And the most incredible thing is starting the weight loss journey. It's all about the weight. But as you are doing the mind work and going through the process and seeing results and learning to trust yourself because you're making a plan and you're following through on it, you're developing that trust in yourself and that I do what I say I'm going to do, which has been life-changing to me. So it starts out being about weight loss, but the skills and the benefits translate into every area of your life. Self-sabotage. Yes. Yep. Always self-sabotage before you even start the program. This is 100th program I've tried, so it's probably not going to work or stick. 100%. Oh my gosh. Like, why is this any different? And my encouragement would be, like, I literally, when I started listening to this and hearing, it's so practical. And I love, one of the things that Corinne says is, don't start doing anything that you can't commit to doing for the rest of your life. And that was, I took my time and like really decided when I committed to the minimum baseline of the 4 basics and moving my body 30 minutes a day. Like, these are things I can do every single day for the rest of my life. If I get sick, if something happens and I can't move my body for 30 minutes a day, like, that's not the end of the world. If there's a good reason and I like my reason for not doing it, that's different. But there hasn't been a day since September 29th, 2019, 28th, that I haven't been able to move my body at least 30 minutes. There hasn't been a day that I couldn't take a minute and a half to write down what I was going to eat that day. There hasn't been a day that I didn't have the ability to drink half my body weight in ounces of water. Have there been days that I haven't done those things? There have been days that I haven't gotten my water in. There have been days that I overate or ate off plan, but I have always made a plan. I have always moved my body 30 minutes, and the goal is always to get the water and the sleep. So back to that, like, making the decision to, like, keto. I'll use keto as an example. I was convinced that I could not lose weight unless I was eating a keto lifestyle. And number one, I found out it's not true, which was like mind blowing. But you can't, like, keto is not sustainable for life. You can't not ever eat carbs again. And so this was just really freeing. Like, what are small changes that I can make? Callie, sorry about that. What are small changes that I can make that I know I can do every day for the rest of my life? And that's basically how I started. And then as you go along, you can level up. Like, if you want to raise your, I adore carbs too. I eat oatmeal for breakfast almost every day now. I added carbs back in intentionally when I started this process. Before, every day it was like, I can't have carbs, I can't have carbs, I can't have carbs. I ended up having carbs, but so then I beat myself up for having carbs. Now I plan it and it's okay. And you can lose weight and eat bread. You can lose weight while you're eating a banana. You can lose weight by eating cake or pizza. You want to see my dog? Okay, but my yard is, everything's a mess over here. Callie, here you go. There she is. Callie girl. Callie, come here. Hey, there she is. Hi, Callie girl. Isn't she so cute? She's so cute. So, anyway, this has been super, super freaking long, and I apologize. And there's so much more. There's so much more good stuff, and there's so, like, I just want to challenge you to consider that it's possible and ask, what if? What if this is what could change everything for me? And for me, it 100% has. 180 degrees. I have made so many changes in my body. Like, my body has changed, but my heart has changed. My thoughts have changed. The way my opinion of myself has changed. Do I have work to do? Absolutely. Do I fail? 100%. Do I have everything figured out? Absolutely not. I am not the best mom in the world. I am not the best wife in the world. I've got lots of stuff I need to work on, but I'm figuring it out, and that's okay. So, questions, please, 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 questions in the comments. I would love to touch base with you. DM me. I'm at Coach Shanna P on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm saving my Instagram lives in IGTV under 30 days live. I'm also posting them on my YouTube channel. And my website is shannapizer.com. If you want a download of affirmations that I have used along my journey, I write affirmations every day in my planner. I have compiled a list of the ones that I have enjoyed the most at shannapizer.com/affirmations, and you can get that list. If you want more information on group coaching or individual coaching, shannapizer.com/work with me. The link is in my bio, and I would just love to hear from you. So if you have any questions, comments, feedback, please, please, please comment in the video or send me a DM. I would love to hear from you. Okay, everybody have a great day. And if you lasted this long, blessings to you and your family. I love you. Have a great day.